Welcome back to In the Oven with Adam and Brad.
Hey.
We're jumping into mindset like right away. Adam and I never want to be that like guru mindset people. We don't want to be that way. But the truth is, your mindset is very important. I think
Man, I wish, truthfully, like don't have anything figured out, but I wish like younger me somehow could listen to some of the stuff we talk about. Just you learn some perspective, and I want to share it with somebody. So if I help anybody, then it's good. And
the truth is,
it's therapeutic for me.
The truth is, younger you didn't even have access to stuff
Right.
like that.
No,
That's something
I know.
that I think a lot of people nowadays take for granted. Adam and I just had a meeting with kind of like a content creation agency, and the kid was 21 years old, right? Mm-hmm. And just what he was talking about were things that like I didn't even have access to the knowledge to know those
This
things.
kid feels like he's been in the game a decade plus, basically, is what Brad's getting at, and like industry expert and I'm like, how old are you, dude?
Right. And the truth is because like he started with social media at a young age. And so he's lived the progression of it. When you look at my time on social media, it started out on Facebook in 2000 and when would that be? 2005? Yeah, 2005. Because when I graduated high school, I was one of the first people to sign up to Facebook because I got an EDU, and they had just launched it. I think they launched it like maybe the end of the year before or like early that year because some of my friends that were already at school were like, hey, you need to sign up for this new thing, this Facebook.
Yeah, a friend of mine that I was at battalion with had like some night classes or so. He had a college, because you couldn't get one without a college email. And so we were just like, whatever.
And the thing is though, if you knew what social media was capable of then, had this insider information, you would have treated it completely differently than you treated it when you got it.
At that time, it was for finding sorority parties.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what we utilized Facebook for is like friending people that were in classes with us. Honestly, when Facebook first started, guys and girls were just friending each other, like, oh, they're cute. It was like a dating website,
for sure.
But in general, Facebook was about staying connected to your friends. Like, hey, who's going to go study at 7 p.m.? And like, we didn't text. You would message people on Facebook and stuff. So, but now social media is used vastly differently. People have created entire economies and social systems and all kinds of stuff.
And so to compete in that realm, it's like standing out anywhere else. If you, the mall, if you will, I know that's overly simplified, but if you're on this specific platform, then you got to get the most attention of the people who are at that platform or on that platform, if you will, So
yeah, but think about if you knew what you knew now and you got on Facebook right when it launched.
If I could,
same with Instagram or TikTok.
If I could bestow the things I've learned, sure, but I just mean more like we were talking about before, kind of the wisdom of knowing you can do some pretty epic shit by just doing one thing at a time.
Right, yeah.
Because I mean, like I've told stories, some of the things I've done, and I mean, shit you've done. You don't look at it the same way when people are like, wow, how did you do all of that? And you're like, oh. I mean, kind of like, I just did. Dude, I don't really have like a ta-da answer. Yeah. There's never one. You're just like, I fucking got up every day and did
sometimes
my best.
I'm sure this happens to you. You start sharing like your past and then people are like, how old are you?
Yep.
And then, obviously now when I say 37, some people watching this may be like,
damn,
that's old. Or some people may be like, yeah, you're really young. All perspective, right?
Yeah.
But,
but it's always been, how old are you? Blah, blah, blah. And, and
then people are like, can you walk me through how that was possible? You did all of that in that time frame,
I don't know, man. Life is wild, dude.
Yeah.
You got to take opportunities, man. You just do.
Yeah. The aspect of using social media, if you had an idea of what it would turn into now, and you jumped in early, you obviously have an advantage there. But also just the amount of knowledge that's at your fingertips to learn about a subject. I think I learned more about AI and the capabilities of AI through social media, like watching a post where someone's talking about a new feature.
Oh man, news and just information in general. So that's why you got to be careful what you digest online. Right. It's so digestible. It's so quick.
And there's no fact checking to it. Like some people could be completely lying about these AI things for views because there is a monetization and that kind of piece, and how many people actually go check,
Right. Yeah, so you got to be careful with that, but it is digestible. You can learn how to do something like straighten out a bent door hinge or whatever in a 20-second TikTok video that is just like chopped so right and so digestible that you're just like, yep, got it. And then you can just leave it there on loop.
Yeah. Well, speaking of AI and what you can use AI wrongfully for, did you hear about? You did not.
No.
So a teacher created like an AI conversation with the principal's voice, and obviously the principal was here. Just hit back to main and then click on continue without supporting this time. Bottom left, it's gray. You just keep left up in the white square, the bottom left text. There you go. All right. But anyways, so this teacher created a fake AI conversation with the principal using the principal's voice, and he made the principal say, because technically it was him. He made this up that the principal said that black students wouldn't be able to fight their way out of a paper bag or something like that when it came to like school testing and things like that. There was a bunch of other comments, but they were all like racially charged comments.
Is there a video or no?
No, it's not.
Did they have the what it said, or do they have the conversation?
There is some snippets down there. You just have to find out, all the stuff. But anyways, it was just a lot of hateful rhetoric and things like that. So, I mean, I saw some of this stuff on there. But yeah, that just shows you like what AI can do, and how someone can use AI to literally got their principal fired.
All right, here's what this means. It means you can be accused. I mean, you can be framed for anything.
Yeah, at this point.
It means you can be framed for anything, because then they're just going to be like, yep, that was fake, or nope, that was Brad for real.
Well, it's kind of like I remember people saying like you used to be able to at least like trust a picture, and then Photoshop came out and people can edit photos, and then they're like, well, now you can trust video, or but that was the newest thing, but now video is being faked. I mean, I've seen Firefly stuff where they're literally changing people's outfits live, and it's like looks and it fits in perfectly fine, and then people it's just going to get very, very difficult to discern truth from lies or whatever. And if you have enough money and enough capability, you can make anything look anyway.
Yes, sir. Yes, you can. Wag the dog stuff.
I know. I feel like we're wearing tinfoil hats right now, but it's like it's just like
what am I supposed to think about it, right? Dang.
Anyways.
All right, what do we got?
So when we were talking about some of the stuff we had done, I know you've done a lot of real estate stuff. I've done some real estate stuff, and then we've also just done some general investing. Well, I did not know this, but a couple invest in a house in Bali, and they're claiming 15% return on investment, which is pretty hefty because real estate's like, what, 4 to 10 maybe, depending on
Are they short-term renting it?
Yeah, short-term renting.
Yeah, I see that. I can see that. Yeah, all day. We've looked at some international stuff, but see, the thing is, man, I don't know, like Indonesian law or anything.
So they can't own the house,
right? There's a lot of weird.
So they had to build the home. See, they have a 15% annual return on investment. So they built a home, and or someone found land. They build this home on it, but they signed a 30-year lease with the ability to renew at the end of the 30 years for essentially the price of the thing. So it's like, we have mortgage payments for 30 years there. It's pretty much what they're doing, but I think
I have a friend that does, international stuff pretty heavy. He makes good money, dude. A lot of his short-term rentals are in weird markets in Cambodia, a couple other areas where he does condos. He owns the condos like a condo situation. And it's written in most of them that as long as like the condo association is locals or whatever, then they can sell up to that many of them out of the building. And then,
Yeah. Well, I mean, the truth is, as beautiful as this home is and everything, it was $143,000, which is not that expensive from an investment standpoint. Even though the returns are 15%, I feel like there's a lot of liability you have with like a home in another country that you can't just pop over to.
Right.
Cleaners, all you gotta do, that stuff.
Go over there, South Pacific area, get some short-term rentals in some like business markets where there's going to be a lot of travel, and then situate the apartment so that it caters to like Western people. So full-size refrigerators, full-size. We're just used to seeing it. It'll make people comfortable, and they'll be repeat business. Full-size closets, if you can build something out to hold stuff, South Pacific, anywhere you go in the world has a way of that they built for the people that were there. And Anyways, that's what he does, and he cleans up with repeat, like bank type financial business people. So,
would you ever invest in like a house?
He's asked me to a bunch of times. I have not, because it just feels weird. I would need more so that it was less percentage of my income.
Right.
You know, like I'd go in on something with you, but later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not right now.
Yeah.
Somewhere I could take the L, or just at a whim fly over there and deal with it if I had to.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest thing is like flight to Bali is like more than a day's worth of travel for us.
Tiring.
And so it's like I'd almost rather go to like
I would just, it's not like
Costa
I'm going to
Rica.
hop. It's not like I'm going to hop on a flight to Tennessee if I got to deal with something there. Usually, unless they make me get a lawyer there.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it just makes me feel like it would be more difficult to find someone to do something for you in Bali than it would be. But then also at the same time, I could see how it may be easier because there's so many people that want work that for like a job like that probably pays pretty well. You know, I don't know.
I don't know enough about it, so it's not really on my radar right now. Got a lot going on. Well, but yeah, I mean, I can believe it, and I watch plenty of like travel stuff, and I like that area, so I see the amount of expats and stuff that are over there.
Right.
Okay. And cost of construction is nothing.
Yeah. So apparently, you know, it's illegal to rent short term there without a business license, and for foreigners, that requires a local investment of $650,000 to qualify. Yeah,
so, but that's not. There's ways of qualifying beyond that. So a lot of these countries, the house will come with like a golden visa. It means you bought a property over a certain amount. The country lets you come in. If you have enough money in the bank, the country lets you come in. You're good for their, economy.
Yeah.
So they waiver all that shit.
Yeah. Just interesting overall. This next thing that's on the list to talk about, I don't know if I can watch it again. It's pretty gruesome. It's just a UFC fight.
Oh, goodness gracious. Ugh. Did the stanky leg. He basically did nunchuck his leg, didn't he? God, broke that bad boy. So if y'all didn't see it, what happened was there was your shin bone and it went, now I'm a nunchuck.
Yeah.
And he tried to step back on it.
Yeah, and didn't that happen to that's happened to some famous UFC fighters. Someone, is it Anderson Silva that did it? Yeah. He was kicking. And did you just hit the wrong spot, or is it just the fact that
yeah, man, this part, and you're kicking and you kick a little higher than you mean to.
Yeah. But I've seen people kick people in the ear, And
just think every little bit of cushion or anything that slows it down, whether you get in the inside meat, and then how strong your shin is too, man. Like,
well, and I bet you could get microfractures in them from kicking so much, and then all of a sudden it takes one kick to just.
Yeah. Man, a lot happens.
Oh my gosh, my shins hurt right now. Dude, it's just like
you're done, bro. You're done.
I couldn't imagine what that would feel like, and I would just be like, it'd be terrible.
All right. Well, did y'all know that they have like surgery that makes people taller, and they break your bones, and they put these pins in, and you gotta, bro.
I saw it because I was on Instagram. So funny that I would find it. I was on Instagram, and this guy was like. It was a bodybuilder, and he had gotten lengthened, and he was already like 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
So people were like, why would you do this? And he's like, I'm so big that 6'4", the muscle would look better at 6'4". So he like lengthened to 6'4". And I saw, and his legs are obviously atrophied down to nothing, that you're literally in a wheelchair and have to like relearn how to walk.
I saw one on a guy, and I saw some video on social media somewhere. Guy with dreadlocks. If they had that one, I don't know. He was definitely taller.
Yeah. So the limb lengthening, says is like literally 6 to 9 months before you can like run and jump.
Oh yeah, I think it was like a full year. It was like a quick, transitioning video. But the dude was in the like arm crutches and all of that business. And I had to. And then when he was done, it looked like a normal person, just taller. But
and he's gonna have scars for life.
Yeah. But. I think, the dude was, pretty short. So, like,
oh, okay.
I don't know how tall.
Yeah. Well, I think that a lot of people were so confused.
They put him up over 6 foot afterwards.
I think a lot of people were so confused about that one guy because they're like, you're already 6 foot tall. Like, you're already, like, no one goes, oh, man, you're a short guy. Yeah. Like, I could totally see being like some guy that's like 5'6" and was like, I need to be like closer to 6 foot tall.
That's more like what this guy was.
Right. And so, or like just 5'4", just a real short king, Yep. So another thing to talk about I know we talked about the minimum wage in California being $20 per hour now for the fast food, unless there's a bakery attached, right? Mm-hmm. Well, New York City is proposing paying delivery app workers up to $33 an hour. And that would be like...
Who pays?
They're saying that the minimum that Uber Eats and DoorDash and Grubhub, so...
Well, yeah, that's funny. I mean, I would like it if all of them were paid $33 an hour, because I bet if they just got after it, they'd all make that anyways. That's as paid a, as you play, you get paid.
Delivery fees and stuff, yeah.
Well, the delivery driver is an independent contractor. The more they pick up and deliver, the more they get paid per hour.
Right.
So, like...
Do you think it'll make them move quicker?
No, I just think like you can't dictate that. It would change their whole pay structure, I think.
Well, the reason I asked though is because the real truth is the only way Uber and DoorDash and those companies will pay that is if the customer is paying it, because they're not going to just all of a sudden give a raise without raising the price on the other end or demanding more from the business. Like they're not going to sink their profit to just pay people more.
Well, that's the squeeze. So. That's the tug of war, right? Okay. The government comes in and sets regulation, and you're right. Corporations aren't trying to give up profit until customers aren't letting them have their dollars anymore. And then they have to give up some, but the problem is just the legislation. Look, every time the government raises the minimum wage, they're collecting more tax from y'all. Just understand that. If we did that, if it was like, listen, every time we take the minimum wage and we raise it up, we're giving ourselves a raise. Let's go government. Let's go us. Full stop. They want you all to make do it enough times and you hit communism. I mean, just you tax the corporations by making them pay the people more, and then the people don't want to pay for it. At some point, we have to bail the governments out.
Well, and if you think about giving people a raise, when you bring up they're getting more in taxes, they're getting more in taxes everywhere. They're obviously getting more on the payroll tax, but they're also getting more on the income tax.
It's percentage based. So the cost of all goods go up.
And you're buying more stuff.
That's right. But the stuff you're buying is going to cost more because you've just inflated the economy.
Right.
So you just inflated the economy. Everything's going to cost more. Hey, guess what? We're a percentage-based business over here, the government. Overhead and profit, baby. Tack it on.
Right.
Go ahead. And so
it's really just like an astronomical effect.
Yeah, they're like, go ahead, y'all. Fiat currency's where it's at, boy.
Yeah, that is wild.
Run away with it.
I never really thought about it from that standpoint. I've always thought about it from the standpoint of like, you're really screwing over smaller businesses a lot of times because they don't have the ability to pay some of these like specialized people the higher hourly rate.
That's how the steamboat rolls, man. Like, I guess not quite Atlas Shrugged type stuff, but like the big corporations are the first to line up. You would think it would be the opposite, to like support these government sanctions, but it's because they can just force all their competitors out. So DoorDash and the rest of them, they're the ones that are going to get hit first initially, because it's going to, or seem like it, because they're going to have to pay the most, but they can pay the longest. And then once their competitors go out,
that's what I was going to say.
Choke them out. Walmart strategy.
No one's going to start their own grocery delivery app or any app now because they know that they can't.
The big
compete
VC
in
groups
these
will be
markets.
scared to get involved. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, the government's that's their job. Our job's to keep it small. Their jobs, the government's jobs to grow. And like, we're not doing a good job of it right now, y'all. Just saying.
Yeah.
Inflation's going crazy.
But speaking of large corporations, we didn't talk about what you did last week because we were
that's right. I went to the Sweets and Snacks Expo 2024 in Indianapolis.
Can I tell you, Aubrey is pissed.
What?
Because apparently this expo is pretty much viral on social media.
Yeah.
And she was like, can we go next year? And I go, oh, that's where Adam and Lacey were. And she was like, that's where they were? She got
invited.
Together.
Anybody wants to come. But yeah, okay, cool. It would have been. I mean, it was
I heard there's a lot of samples.
Amazing. Oh, I got at least 50, 60 pounds at least of stuff. Whole full size. I mean, and they're just like, here, take it. Just take it. So all the big players, every every snack or sweet in the game was
like Haribo.
Oh, every country. I mean, like
Mondelez and Hershey's.
And so at first I really didn't fully understand what this business was. Even like the Hershey's and stuff of the world. I didn't really know until I started meeting all these international buyers to where, like, believe it or not, y'all, there are people never heard of Twizzlers before. Just never heard of it because their country don't have them. But they have a lot of people buying a lot of stuff. And so there's, too many countries to name, but they have baked goods, snack products. They have their own chips.
You met some guy, like, was it Greece or something?
Yeah. So we met this inclusions company. We got like a little project working on it. Sneaky. We can't tell y'all, but he makes, all the way up to like gold coated sprinkles. 24 karat gold sprinkles. Like,
right.
So like silver inclusions.
Luxury high-end stuff. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dude. And like powders, like shimmer powders, but that are like you add to frostings, but that are like actually the precious metals and stuff like that. I was like, holy moly, this is crazy. That's cool that even exists, but it does. So, but yeah, I mean, everybody, right? So everybody, all the gummy candy products, obviously, I hung out over there, but really we were on a mission to find inclusions. And so we found a company that we're already talking to that does, however, their minimum order is 40,000 pounds at a time of chocolate. Yeah. They're very interested in running custom flavors for us as long as we commit to 240,000 pounds of it. The dude just said that, just like, whoop. And I was like, cool, this is what we're going into, but it's still hard to.
Well, I think the funniest story you told me was when you were asking people about like caramel and fudge, because we're trying right now, our caramel and fudge come in like small bags and we have to open them to dump them in. We're looking for like 5-gallon buckets, like our marshmallow fluff and stuff comes in. And no lie, Adam's like, I want a big container.
Biggest container you got.
And the guy's like, yeah, we'll back a truck up. Yeah. Essentially, he meant like a tanker truck full of caramel.
How many trucks y'all want? Like, what do y'all keep it in? I was like, what? Keep what in? Like, use like I forget. He started naming off different types of tanks. Yeah. And I was like, oh, no, that's a little bigger. And he's like, oh, you want a small? Yeah. I was like, well, it was a 55-gallon drum.
It was a small.
Yeah. It's like, it's not that small.
And if anyone just wants a 55-gallon drum is like, if I got into like a cannonball, I could fit inside.
Absolutely.
Probably me and a half could fit in.
You could shove me inside one. Absolutely. So it's like 500 and something pounds, say 580 or something like that for the chocolate. And I was like, but that's where we're at.
Well, I mean, we are looking for that.
We are looking for drums.
We are looking for his small.
Yes, right. But so everybody else has like 1 quart containers. One guy had like a 2 quart or a 2.5 quart. He was pretty excited about. And I was like, buddy, that's not going to do it. So
we need drums.
We need drums, but we found them, and we found a couple of companies that have them. Folks that'll make custom inclusions for us. Folks that'll make custom candy for us. Yeah. We're getting near enough the volume where. Who knows, man? Who knows what we'll do? But we might have a fat and weird candy inside of a fat and weird cookie. You never know, but they'll run it for us.
Yeah, again, this is kind of what I mean by with the hourly pay rate, like how it correlates is the big companies, like we are getting there. We are going to start to be able to make custom products that like the new guys starting out can't do. They just like literally can't do it. They don't have the ability to get there. So it's weird, like as you level up, like you almost get more and more protected from people being able to come after you because you just economy of scale.
Yeah, try to do what we're doing. At some point, just competition pool gets smaller.
What was your favorite booths?
Haribo was pretty dope.
Did they have any products to try other than gummy bears?
No. Well, okay. They had their full suite of all their gummies.
Any ones that you had never had though?
No.
Yeah.
Not from Haribo. From the there were several different importers. And there was a Haribo brand, like sour something gummies. Okay. I don't remember what the names of them were. They were in a little thing, but they were they had Asian writing all over the back. Those are dope. I just recognized the Haribo logo. Yeah. They were like sour green.
Anything that you tried there that you're like, man, I wish I could get a hold of this more often, or? You're not a sweets person, so like I probably would have crushed way more than you would have crushed.
There were so many different cookie options, though. I'm biased, obviously, but we're gonna crush at market. I mean, we just are. That was the big takeaway.
Yeah.
Y'all better be scaring your little booties because I've seen your branding or your graphics or your social presence, your marketing presence sucks. There's not anybody that I was like, we better watch out for them.
Right.
There's just not. We're also kind of creating our own space, you know? So like, truthfully, there was nobody at all doing what we're doing.
Right.
You had the couple of different stuff products, but it looked whack, underfilled. I don't know. I'm not trying to like really, start beef or anything on here. It's just like, it was comforting. Got me fired up, So,
but I want you to tell me about your favorite booth, Rap Snacks.
Oh my God. Yeah, I got to be careful what I say on here. Rap Snacks was incredibly cringe. It was, Rap Snacks is, I don't fully know. They have hip hop artists that are associated with chips. And someone told me they would be making candy soon and gave me a sample bag that had none of their branding on it and just looked like they bought it from the dollar store and ripped the branding off. That's what it looked like for me.
Yeah.
Oh man, they were having like rap challenges. Mostly black staff, all cool people. The way they were acting, it's just cringe. I hope they all just wanted to act that way on their own. I don't know. It was was very much like they were all told, we're Rap Snacks, the company that started anything that's produced an exhibit show. So just talk like Exhibit does. Don't break character. Your audience is going to be mostly stuffy 80-year-old white dudes.
Right.
That are international buyers or I guess national buyers, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they were just like...
When you described it, it reminded me of how out of place like Bang felt when I went to my first fitness expo. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, for sure. And cringe to the girls that had to do it. But because this is like, it felt racist. I don't know which part. I was just like, you got a bunch of old white people going, ha, 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 look at this booth.
Right.
Or something. Maybe not. I don't know. It just was very cringe. I'm trying not to get whatever.
No. I don't
want y'all attacking me. All one of our viewers.
No,
getting mad at me.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you feel like a group is like forced to act a certain way, it can be
bad,
just
man.
awkward.
These kids were like 20 years old. I'm like, nobody talks this way. Nobody acts this way. These aren't the music you listen to. Why are y'all bumping Nelly so loud?
But overall, like you had a good time.
Oh man, it was a good time. We met a lot of folks. We're in that weird spot where we're B2B. So the companies that sell the products to us don't know about us yet. And we don't know about them either. And they're not really on Google. And go type bulk chocolate, yo. People think bulk chocolate is a box of candy bars, like a box of boxes or something.
Or a 25-pound box.
Yeah, ooh, cool, sweet. It's like I need a truck full of materials here every week.
Yeah.
Soon to be twice a week. And so, like, yeah, that's the kind of stuff. And there's no Google. You don't even know what this is called.
Well, even some people are like, well, what about Restaurant Depot and Webstaurant? And I'm like, that's not even bulk enough. Dude, what we're talking about, I mean, like your Sam's Club and Costco is arguably not bulk enough for what we're talking about.
One of, like when we're looking back and people are like, man, how did y'all do any of that? It's one step at a time. It's like, I'm trying to figure out a cookie, put her in a boxer machiner thing. And how do you Google that? How do you Google any of the stuff? A packer. Now, I'm kidding now. I mean, I know a lot of words now, but like case pack erector. I didn't know that phrase before I came here.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Palletizer.
Yeah, I guess that's why I guess mentors can be important in certain fields because they kind of cut that time in half.
Speed that up. Yeah.
When people go, well, what am I paying for with a mentor? And the truth is, I mean, you're paying for time. So you're paying, do you want to learn that lesson over the next 6 months or do you want to learn it today in 30 minutes,
Yeah, if you find a good one, I've had a couple of good folks in my life. If you pay them or don't pay them, but what you're paying them for is to learn from them paying for their own mistakes.
Right.
You're like paying them back for their mistakes they learned in the past on their dime. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, get this machine, not that machine. Hey, do this, not that. Hey, go here. Hey, call my buddy over here. He'll help you out.
Hey, I wish I would have done this and not this, or you definitely should do this given the two options you gave me or whatever. So, you're kind of someone that may have walked some similar paths as you is just kind of giving you a hand around some of the obstacles and hurdles that you may have to overcome.
We got CRISPR on here.
Yes. So I forgot the term CRISPR until I opened the article and I saw it and I was like, oh, wow.
CRISPR.
But, there's a lot of, there's some controversial gene editing experiments. It says successfully created flawed human embryos. I don't know why they'd be flawed, but.
Who do you think they've been replacing all these celebrities with?
Yeah, I know, right? Diddy and all them. But no, it's just very interesting, because, we had the cloning of a sheep.
Lucy. Yeah.
And that was forever ago.
I think like 2007 or something along. So, I mean, again, throw it up to like the moon landing stuff of maybe we just did it and then forgot and lost all the data on how to do it again. But I don't think that's the case. Dolly, there it is. Lucy's that movie. Dolly.
Was she born?
First mammal cloned from an adult somatic cell.
Yeah.
So she was
in 1996.
So she was cloned so she was born as an adult.
Right.
Okay. So her body rapidly became the full-size adult. It didn't go through, right? Is that what that means?
She was cloned by...
Because as I understand it, which is not at all actually now that I'm saying this out loud, if you take a DNA from an adult, you're getting...
supposedly everything about them, like what they look like and everything, right?
Are they born as a baby? I understand that you will still have to learn. That's your brain. I understand that you still have to, but like, would your body try to quickly become a 37-year-old body, or would it?
I don't think
grow normally.
I think it would just grow normally, right? Because your DNA doesn't know your age.
It does. It decays and it like does all kinds of shit as you grow. It does. Yeah.
Oh, really? Your
apoptosis and stuff.
Yeah, but like they've found DNA samples and they're not like this is a 19-year-old.
You're right. Well, I don't think that we can. I don't know.
Yeah. See, I think that
are you born as a baby?
I think there's something else in the DNA. Like there's something out external to DNA that measures the DNA's changes, and that gives you age. So I think that if I took...
So you could hypothetically grow something without a conscious to an age, put a conscious in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
So then it would just...
You just type in, was Dolly the sheep born as an adult?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Does it take 33 years to get a 33-year-old, or can you like make something faster? Because basically my point is a couple years after whenever this is, that's how old they are. Okay? They figured it out. And they're walking around.
Yeah, see, like Dolly as a lamb.
Okay, yep.
So cool. She started as a baby.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're born...
Yeah, your body and everything would have to age to that.
I just didn't know if, does it happen fast?
I think it's just normal. Just normal speed.
Because then could you make it slow?
Dolly the sheep with her firstborn lamb. Oh, and she produced children. Wow. That's crazy.
Is it? Because if it's just an identical clone.
Yeah.
That's why I've never understood, because people were also hung up about like cloning meat, and people were like, ugh. And I'm like, I don't understand. And if it's an identical clone, like it's like identical twins, just another step past or several.
So like, yeah.
Steps.
So you know how identical twins a lot of times share looks and traits and characteristics. If you clone something, like say a baby was born and I immediately got its DNA, cloned it right then and there, and like had a baby back to back, do you think they would be similar to identical twins? Whereas like they would have like look exactly the same, have
I think they would be exactly the same
like
without nurture or nature. Sorry, no nurture.
Nurture, yeah, hasn't happened. Yeah. Question, like, is your DNA tell me where your freckles are, or is that a climate change?
I think your DNA tells your body where your freckles could be in the event that they make freckles. I think they're, but like I think if you took somebody and if they weren't in the sun a lot,
yeah, they wouldn't have as many. Versus, yeah, interesting. Graying of hair though would be very DNA, I'm sure. Losing hair would be it would just be on. Was it DHP production or whatever?
Mm-hmm, but you'd be predisposed to having all the same stuff.
Right. Interesting. Man.
If you were around secondhand smokers, though, one might get and the other one might not. Or whatever.
Yeah. She lived to be about the same age, right? 6.
She had tumors, which other cloned sheep had tumors as well that grew in the lungs. And just like
yeah, because, it is, when you think about it, a lot of times, cancer is
Dead cells fighting.
Yeah, just dead cells fighting, right? So I'm wondering, by cloning, if you create a situation where it just could be more prevalent to have these tumors and things like that.
I think it's when I don't know enough to speak on it. When something happens to the cross strands of the DNA and it's like degraded.
Yeah.
You're like making like a degraded clone, like
right.
a copy of a copy or something.
Right. Yeah, like a diminishing return.
I think so. I think there's something to the degradation of the DNA is what they're worried about.
How do you feel about this being used to like alter, like someone's having a kid and they're like, I really want to have a blue-eyed boy, and they like go in and edit the DNA to make sure the boy has blue eyes.
I don't like messing with none of that.
Or they're like, hey, your kid's going to be born with sickle cell.
I understand,
would you want us
and
to
I don't
fix
want
it
any
right
of the
now?
parents out there. I don't want any of the parents out there, but I did not want to take any of those tests to know anything was wrong or right with my kids. I didn't want to know. Kirsty and I were having a baby. And I'm not trying to sound any type of way. Y'all can do what you got to do. I don't think we should manipulate or play God. And I hate it, right? Because if it's your kid.
Yeah, we had this discussion.
If it's your kid, would you do it before I don't know.
Hey, what if you found out that based on the DNA that your kid was going to have some kind of defect, that maybe it's physical and they're not going to live a long life, or maybe it's physical in the aspect of they're going to live a life that a lot of people make fun of them the way they look? You wouldn't be like, change that if you could change it.
I think I would probably cave and do it, but I want to say no.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
But I'm just saying, if you found out for some reason.
There are things that I would do for my kids. I'm not even going to say what they are. I mean, I'll do whatever to protect my kids now.
Right.
Even doing stuff that I would say is playing God or preventing if I had the ability to. But I'm a sinner and I know my kids and I can't not save them. I don't know, man. It's tough. Manipulating it to have some blue eyes and stuff, that feels a little Hitler-y. I don't know. I don't know, man. If you knew your kid was somehow not gonna.
Well, I think one of them, in my opinion, is more of what you would consider it's I don't know, optional isn't really the right word for it, but it's oh yeah, from a aesthetic standpoint, if my kid had this color hair and eyes, it may look better in tan skin or whatever. Whereas there is another side of it is saying these are literal health concerns.
You're right. Well, if you took a person with a skin condition, some type of an albino person or some kind of skin
alopecia
condition that is very front facing, and maybe you just gonna have to deal with something your whole life. If you could take that away, I think everybody would take that away, and I would be completely fine with everybody doing all the things like that, like little cosmetic stuff to prevent. But there is a part of me that says God set that life out for you,
right,
for a reason, and now you're gonna not have that life for a vanity,
right?
And again, that's coming from a dude who was not born with any of these issues.
Right.
He doesn't have any of that stuff. I'm not speaking to that. I'm just saying that's a thought.
Yeah, no.
Anytime people manipulate stuff, and I don't know, it creeps me out. I don't like thinking about it.
Yeah, it's it's not the plan that was maybe there was a reason because of whatever you did because you had this condition.
Well, all my kids are so fair skinned and complected. I would like one of them to have darker hair. I wouldn't have manipulated anything to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would have vain and weird. And I don't know. I don't know.
No, I get it. Yeah.
But
that really makes sense.
But the stuff I read on the CRISPR, where they had these, all right, so the technology, and it was actually invented for a bakery, but the technology that looks at when you go to the gas station and you just throw random stuff on there, and it knows what you have. Yeah. They invented that at a bakery to tell the difference between a muffin and a croissant and all this stuff that the $33 an hour employees out there apparently couldn't figure out the difference between these things. And so minimum wage for you. They invented this technology that covered down on them, figured it out for them. Boom. Now it's all automated. Now they don't need those employees in that position. So this technology scaled up really big, and now they can look at really, really small things. And they're saying that they believe they're close to being able to look, I guess, at DNA or something.
Wow. Okay.
And the big takeaway there would be having the ability to be like, kind of sick 'em, AI.
Yeah.
Go figure it out. Might like take everything we've learned about DNA and shrink it down to nothing. In what we learn in the next, like, what, days? I don't know. Yeah. Man. Everything's so fast with that AI.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen 4.40 or whatever, ChatGPT 4.0?
I feel like I tell people I've seen something and they show me something new and I'm just like,
Eastman showed
blown
me.
Away.
I mean, I had seen a video on it, but Eastman actually got working on Friday, and you can literally like talk to ChatGPT.
Oh, I have.
And then it responds back, and then that's the one with the pictures. It can look at you, and it could say the guy was like making a joke, and he's like, "Hey, I'm interviewing for a software engineering position," and he said, "How do I look?" And she's like, pretty much she was like, "You're not dressed very nicely, but software engineers don't really dress nice, so you're looking fine." And then he puts on this stupid hat, and she laughs at it and goes, "I don't think I would wear that hat," and makes it joke, not like, "No, you shouldn't do that." It was like, ha ha ha, and it was like very conversational.
Right. They had it look at one of a like work photo, or no, I don't even know if they asked it to do it. I don't know the whole story, but it basically just diagnosed that somebody needed some like rest, some B vitamins and something else from a like pose with colleagues where he's not really smiling. He's just kind of like, "Oh, hey." Anyways.
Oh, wait. It says Google's AI concluded. Oh, no. Can't see it. Just scroll up. There it goes. No. Google AI concluded that the USA moon landing photos in 1969 were fake. It is also puzzling that the USA was able to send astronauts to the moon in 1969, but is unable to replicate this feat thereafter. Is the U.S. meant a hoax?
Look.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, there's some pretty passionate. Here's the thing, man. Like, I don't understand why people are so passionate that we went to the moon. Like,
right.
I get thinking certain people are crazy. I understand that we grew up learning things in school. Again, it was always hard sometimes when I learned things a little differently, and it was always super hard for me to learn things that like weren't well documented in school. So some of that stuff, I was always hung up on the fact that we didn't have a base on the moon.
Right.
So I either thought we did have a base on the moon and it was secret and like we went there all the time, or that we didn't go at all. I know it's stupid, but like, you learn about the core of the earth like we know about that.
Right.
Like we've ever dug down there. You learn about dinosaurs and like, because they found like a knuckle of something and they're like, this is what it looked like. Yep. Roam the earth. You either know all that mess or you don't. Like, I don't know, science all over the place in that regard, historical sciences, but the moon stuff's always kind of creeped me out. And like, you look at the dudes' interviews after the fact, they look like they'd all like, I don't know, they're like simultaneous, like they'd been threatened. Like they do not look like they had just successfully done a thing.
Right.
Like they were out there to lie. Yeah, if we watch an interview thing.
Well, I was just talking about this. When that happened,
and then just all the fake videos of NASA that
when was the moon landing?
1969.
Yeah, so I know this is going to sound crazy, but like we didn't have internet for years and years and years after that. How do we communicate all the way to the moon and back? Well, I know we have satellites and I know stuff like that, but like we didn't have internet. We didn't have so much other things. And so I'm like, how did they have a walkie-talkie in their little spacesuits that worked all the way from the moon?
NASA is the world intelligence agency. Okay, that's what it is.
People are gonna not take any of this podcast seriously now because we don't think that the moon landing was real.
No. I mean, like, I just want them to prove it. I don't care. I want to go back. I want to have a little moon base. I want to go vacation on the moon with my family.
This is just a trust but verify situation.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. We trust you. Can you just give us some more details?
Yeah. I want to know why the flag is blowing in the video. I want to know why it waves. I want to,
Well, we actually talked about like the whole, like in a vacuum, how do you actually move? Like how do you propel yourself in a vacuum?
And again, I've listened to physicists explain it to me. I need you to show it to me.
Yeah.
Show it to me, dog.
Yeah. I always preferred science lab to the theory.
Yeah, like cool, because show it to me. Anyways, I didn't conclude that. Google did. So y'all take it up with Google. They own this platform here. So,
were you affected by the major cloud storage data breach?
I'm sure I was.
AT&T.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is, I think it affected like 70 million people.
Doggone it, AT&T. Oh yeah, is that why they gave me some money?
They did, and then they also sent you an email that you can sign up for a free year of identity theft monitoring from this like other company. But my question is, how can you get away with saying you're going to provide it for a year for free? It sounds like you should be on the hook forever. You allowed my information to be breached. Just so now if I'm a hacker guy, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to wait 13 months and then I'm going to come after everybody that I can because that most of them are going to cancel when it's not free anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So didn't get a hold of that many people. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. And it's all like, to the end user, it's just a pain in the ass.
Right.
So like fraud is only going to keep going up because people, you don't even really need to worry about it. You know, it's just like, I'm not paying them. Like for the end user, if you got like accounts that got stuff that can be wiped out, you know, you got to stay on top of it. So gives you a little key fobs, and 2FA stuff. But like for most people, the credit card gets stole, or whatever gets stole. They just call, they send them a new one, no harm, no foul, move on. And so like thieves steal everything. Well, dude, I hate it.
Well, I pay for a service and I have my credit locked all the time because like people, like someone opened a bank account my name, which is weird because it was a savings account, which means you got to put money. It wasn't a checking account. I know. Even a checking account, you know, I mean, they could have overdrafted
you got that debit card. That was a weird scam.
And then another one where I got a debit card sent in the mail, called them. They're like, yeah, you applied for this online. I'm like, no, didn't do that.
There's a scam there.
But speaking of data breaches, do you remember Ashley Madison? It was that website for like people to have affairs.
Oh,
do you know what I'm talking about at all? They were really big in like the, I think I would say late 2000s.
To have like cheat on?
Sorry, 2002. Click on Ashley Madison right there. Down. Like the third link, the Wikipedia link. So long story short, it was a website, Life Short, have an affair. And it was
I recognize the logo and shit now. They advertised on TV, right?
Yeah. And
then like all these. Yeah, I didn't recognize the name.
There's a documentary on Netflix.
Okay.
About the data breach. Because I don't know if you know, but like the downfall of them was the data breach. So long story short, they taught, I don't want to ruin the movie for anyone.
Y'all in trouble.
You need to watch it. It's so good. But long story short, the whole first, it's 3 episodes. The whole first episode is just about like the background of Ashley Madison and how many users it had gained.
Oh my gosh.
They had 37 million users.
Y'all know y'all said some dirty stuff on there.
So not only that, hey, when they released people's names, addresses, phone numbers, and
I am confused.
Sexual preferences.
All right, look, I love my wife to death. There's no amount of security on this planet that would let me feel comfortable if I wanted to do something like this. Just be like, there it is. There's my picture. There's my name.
Yeah, so it said...
I mean, Kirsty, right now, you can tell. If you see me out there, it's fake as hell because I ain't doing that shit.
It says it was at a very unique time that the reason it worked is because people were gullible to hacking and internet security because it's 2002. Okay, people didn't think about... People just trusted, like, no, my stuff's on lock. Like, this... Back then it didn't happen. Anyways, so and they had all this stuff like 100% data protection, trust verified, and all this stuff.
True, I guess.
But anyways, it is wild.
It says up here they're talking about like sexual fantasies and like all kinds
your
of
kink
stuff.
preferences, all that stuff were all released out. Well, if follows it, so there were politicians and famous people that were like leaked in this data breach. There's this one couple they follow. This guy's like they were a YouTube family, and his name was exposed in the The Duggar. Remember the Duggars? That had all those kids? He was on that list. And the dude couldn't pull out of a driveway.
I know, bro.
Dang. So
but wow. I feel like when you got to the site, you would be like, man, if I couldn't create a better blackmail target. like to just hack this thing and then blackmail everyone on it because everyone would be like, oh,
so they got hacked. And they got hacked, and when everyone turned on their computers, their screen said, like, you've been hacked. We have all your data, You have 7 days to shut down your website. And instead of just like shutting it down, the CEO hired some like hackers in another country to come and like hack and find out who was hacking them and all this stuff. And
so it wasn't even ransomed?
No ransom, nothing. And so they're like talking about
you done cheated on the wrong person.
So that's what someone said.
You done cheated on John Wick's wife or something. I don't know what happened there.
Like hacker John Wick.
Yeah.
But they also said it could have been like a religious group.
Hacker John Wick, because if it was a real John Wick, it'd been way worse for you, dog.
Yeah, he would have just got
Wow.
No one even knows.
That's gangster, though.
Boogeyman style.
That's gangster.
So anyways, they said they were going to release all this stuff. So they released a bunch of information in the first round of it. And then apparently they waited and dropped even more information that included like actual messages and had all the CEO's personal emails and how the CEO was like cheating on his wife. And the whole point is he went all these PR stunts where he was like, I'm faithful to my wife. I just know that this would save a lot of marriages and all this stuff. And
that's the opposite of saving a marriage.
Yeah.
It's retarded. Here, go.
What? They really tried to rationalize it. That like, you know.
Is it an escort service? Because if it's not, then it's like literally go date this other person.
That's
and
what
save your marriage.
They're trying to, essentially is Christian mingle for not Christian people.
Yeah.
Well, sadly, there was a lot of Christian people that were like a pastor and stuff like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are all sinners, but some of us are hypocrites too, and that's the worst.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, watch it. We all sin, but don't be a hypocrite.
The pastor ended up committing suicide when he got found out, if you will.
I know. Dog, you got caught. And so, do the time, do the crime, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's just a sad thing.
Repent.
So, but yeah,
it is sad.
To this day, though, they still don't know who did the hack. They called themselves the Impact Team, but everyone kind of came to the conclusion it was probably only like one or two people because they offered a $500,000 reward for any information, and they said if there's a group, someone flips when you offer a $500,000.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially considering there was no, but
Impact Team.
So,
still cool, man. That's gangster. Yeah. I guarantee you, it was somebody that was like,
someone thinks it was a
lot. You ain't cheating on me.
Well, a lot of people thought it was someone internal to the company. Like some people had said to some extent that they may have been the CEO trying a publicity stunt because he's always like, hey, no PR is bad PR. Because Ashley Madison's still around to this day.
Oh, it is.
Hunter Biden came out on that list as well. But Ashley Madison is still around to this day. If you go back, I think you had asked it, and it's still around to this day. And they said now there's like 100 million users on it, which is like, it had 37 million back then. But you know what the biggest scam it had? Women could be on the website for free and could talk to anyone for free. Men had to pay for credits. You didn't have to pay for a membership. You had to pay for credits. And every time you communicated, you used a credit. So it was like...
Simping ain't easy, dog. Yeah. But somebody got to do it, I guess. No, you do not have to pay money to talk to women. That is wild. I am just... Don't do... Like, this is stupid. You have to be... You have to be married to go on this? Or not have to be? But
no, you have to be.
You have to be married. Oh, wow.
If
you're breaking the law.
If you go down a little bit, those people are the Netflix couples.
All right, bro. Yeah. Hear me out. Business idea. Y'all don't take it or do whatever. Make the world a better place. We just throw it out there to the people of America. Hey, pay us a little 50 cents a month, and if any IP address in your house ever goes to this IP address, gotcha, bitch.
Oh yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah,
I know you on it.
There are places like that. There are the programs that like that, but.
I'll pay for that service.
The crazy thing is, Ashley Madison on their website had a pay to delete feature. You paid like $10 and they claimed they would permanently delete your record off of their site. Kind of like, Facebook, you can delete your data. They made so much money and they never deleted any of the data.
Oh, well, they should. No, because see, all right, here's the deal. Here's the genius, right? People are going to join that site just to check it out.
Yeah.
They just want to check it out, maybe see if they know anybody on it.
Right.
Dip their toe in sin.
You're
right.
You know
what I mean? Just check it out. I'm just checking it out.
And that's the thing.
But they probably are. They are just being nosy, fueling kind of that drama. Looking on it, seeing if they know. I know people that have gotten on here and told me that like on so and so, I don't know what apps, a couple of people I know are like swingers or on some swinger apps. I'm like, how do you know that?
Right.
And they're like, whoa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't want to be in people's business. I don't want to know them like that. They're, I got no problem with them doing that over there. Right. They're fun people. But so people are going to get on there, be nosy, but then go like, oh, I would pay $10 to delete my shit.
Right.
My digital footprint. But the thing is, you're just adding another digital footprint by using credit card again. But whatever.
Well, there's a lot of times that I would get sent pictures of me on these dating sites. Most of the time they didn't have my name. It'd be like Steven or, and the age wouldn't be right or anything. But the point is, like, if anyone were scrolling that and know me, which they do because of social media, so that's why I get them sent to me. They're usually saying, hey, look, someone's pretending to be you. They don't think that that's actually me. But I could see how someone would be like, Brad's trying to pretend to be someone else, dipping his toes around.
Well, there are like legit, I've read stories about folks like ripping off other people's OnlyFans content and such, legit content, and then acting like
it's them.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Y'all are ruthless out here.
Yeah.
This is the Wild West.
Well, nowadays in AI,
this is the Wild West of dirty behavior, and this is not wholesome.
Well, now with AI, like some of these OnlyFans are literally AI.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
So we were talking about deleting.
I'm not going to lie. If I knew it wasn't going to be like gross stuff, I would look at what, I would just take a peek at some of what they can do on the AI stuff, but that's it.
iOS 17.5, apparently people had permanently deleted photos and they came back after that update. So then they were like,
they weren't deleted.
Wait, are these not permanently deleted or what? So that's another thing too. Like, I think we've talked about this on here. I never have sent like lewd photos of myself out on the internet because I know that as much as people thought Ashley Madison was secure, people think that their text messages are secure and that they can't somehow get hacked, and I mean, there's program out there like WhatsApp that gets like encryption and stuff. But at the end of the day, like if you put it out there, it's out there.
It's out there, man. It's in bits and bytes.
And there's nothing wrong with it. You can send that dick pic if you want to send that dick pic. I'm just telling you, it's out there now.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't do it. I mean, whatever. It's for other people.
Yeah. But we've been doing this about an hour. This was a fun one.
Yeah, it was. We didn't have to take any pauses.
Yeah. How you like that?
I know, it was good.
That was great. So thanks for joining us in the oven. Do hard shit. You're worth it.